I'll buy into a private Apollo game with a Mark II Juicy to pass up. Impress the divers, fundraising with Jimmy, completed. New quest, impress the divers, the old pump and dump. The noble fish kid Nikolai was winning hand over fist. He couldn't believe his luck. It seemed, at least every other hand, he won a portion of the pot, if not the whole thing. Of course, it wasn't luck, and hopefully I was the only one at the table who knew that. I was subtly throwing the game to him, reading his tells, knowing when he was bluffing and when he was really holding. It was actually pretty easy. More so as the night went on and he continued drinking copiously, celebrating his winnings at the table, as it were. I was nearing the end of my bankroll and playing it conservatively as the evening wore into the wee hours of the morning. Finally, seeing the noble fish Nikolai yawning, I knew it was about that time. I made a big show of slowly counting my gold and lamenting my losses for the night, before yawning myself and calling it a night. On cue, a couple of others at the table who have not had such a great night decided to cash themselves out as well, and the game was on its way to being over. Collecting the few silver I had left on the table, I made my way outside and strode down the street, pretending a more inebriated step than I had, until I was around the corner. Straightening up, I then made a circuitous route around the block, giving my accomplice the go-ahead and waiting at the lookout spot. Just in time, fortunately, because there came Nikolai, stumbling for real and with a dolled-up lady of the night on his arm. How do they even... with a fish man? Never mind. They left the dimly lit hovel the game had been posted in, predictably headed north towards the noble and merchant's court. Not missing a beat, Jimmy steps from the shadows, his knife glinting in the darkness. Good old Jimmy makes a great accomplice. He knows how to angle the knife just right to catch the light. I start moving, as Jimmy gives the usual ultimatum, "Your coin or your life." I glide in behind and alleviate Nikolai of the need to answer. My weighted leather coat catches him just behind the ear hole on the right side, slightly above the gill slits, and he goes down without a sound. The whore turns her head between me and Jimmy, her eyes wide, but she has enough sense not to scream. I accommodatingly toss her my previously purloined belt pouch, with a few remaining silver inside, my fingers over my lips in the hush gesture. She catches the pouch, then looks back up, wordless and scared. I nod for her to be on her way. She makes no complaint and dashes away. Moments later, me and Jimmy are in an alleyway dividing up our spoils.